The 151-page Curtin ruling was filed today at Buffalo Federal District Court, almost 4 years after two civil rights groups joined with Buffalo Councilman George K. Arthur, accusing Buffalo school authorities of deliberately segregating the city's schools. Curtin decided the plaintiffs have proved that various schools in the Buffalo public school system are segregated, that this segregation was intentionally caused by the defendants, and that a substantial and meaningful portion of the school district has been intentionally segregated. The court order enjoined further practices of school segregation in Buffalo, saying the Board of Education, the Superintendent of Schools, the State Commissioner of Education, and the Board of Regents have violated the plaintiff's 14th Amendment right to equal protection under the laws by intentionally causing and maintaining a segregated school system. Curtin said it is therefore the responsibility of the defendants to come forward with a plan that comports with the Constitution. Curtin told reporters the ruling is by no means the final step.
Well, the next step in this will be a meeting with the attorneys and perhaps some of the principals, perhaps the experts, with either the Buffalo Board of Education or the regents and the plaintiffs. We're going to have a meeting on May 19th, now scheduled, at 2 p.m. And at that time, I'll listen to the suggestions of the parties to see what we will do next in this lawsuit. The first burden of providing for the plan is upon the people who run the schools. And we will examine the plan, we'll look at it, we'll listen to the suggestions of the plaintiffs and all of, the people who are interested, and find out whether it meets with the decisions which have been filed before. If it does, we'll go ahead. If it doesn't, then we'll make some further order.
Among the successful plaintiffs, the NAACP and the Citizens Council for Human Relations.
Now that the Federal District Court has ruled that the Buffalo public schools are unconstitutionally segregated, we hope that the citizens of Buffalo will obey the law and thus demonstrate their devotion to the Constitution. For our part, we are now ready to forget the past and build a future with a peaceful transition to an integrated school system.
The solution lies in a total community. Now that the state officials and the city officials have been found guilty of unconstitutionally segregating our school system, we can put that in the past. And this total community is going to have to get together and find a remedy so that all children in our school system will have equal educational opportunity without discrimination against any. And it's up to all of us to work to present to the judge a plan which will meet the constitutional requirements.
Although the many civil rights advocates who marshaled the evidence rejoiced today, the defendants, the Board of Education and School Superintendent, had not yet had time to digest the momentous decision. It's not yet certain if the so-called Buffalo plan, expected soon from Commissioner Nyquist, will meet the needs. Curtin did say massive busing would be a last resort.
I suppose I'm fairly bewildered, so much has occurred in the last few hours. I haven't read the plan, and I understand it's a very long and complicated one. The Board of Education will meet tomorrow to discuss it with the Corporation Council, and at that time we'll know more about it, and our lawyers themselves will have read it. It's 151 pages, and there's a tremendous amount of substance in there, and it'll take some time to digest.
Not only did my administration, as far as I know it, ever do this intentionally, but we offered a number of plans to integrate our schools, which were turned down in many cases. For example, the 444 plan, the middle school program. Look how successful West Hurdle is. Yet at that time, they picketed the groundbreaking. And then when the school was 3/4 complete, the Common Council refused to give us the money until I called a meeting with the approval of the board. Statler brought in a number of top officials, and we got the money to finish it. If we'd been able to go through with that program, we wouldn't have had this court case, a court decision.
The plaintiffs in this 4-year-old court case have maintained that segregation in the Buffalo public schools and segregated housing patterns in the city of Buffalo have been no accident. Judge Curtin, in his decision today, substantially agrees with those contentions. But the solution to the problem lies now with the Buffalo Board of Education, and the timetable is up to them. Vic Baker, First Team News at Federal District Court.